Welcome to Chapter 8 of our video series on construction law in Malaysia. In this chapter, we will be discussing the topic of suspension and determination in construction contracts. Suspension and determination are terms that are commonly used in the construction industry. They refer to the temporary or permanent stopping of work on a construction project. This can happen due to a variety of reasons, such as disputes between the parties, financial difficulties, or safety concerns. Let's start by looking at suspension. In a construction contract, suspension occurs when work on the project is temporarily halted. This can happen for various reasons, such as a dispute between the parties or a change in circumstances. The contract should specify the conditions under which the work can be suspended and the procedures that must be followed. Under the Contract Act 1950, the employer has the right to suspend work if the contractor fails to perform their obligations under the contract. The employer must give written notice of the suspension, and the contractor is entitled to claim for any additional costs that they may incur due to the suspension. However, the contractor also has the right to suspend work if the employer fails to fulfill their obligations under the contract. In this case, the contractor must give written notice of the suspension, and they are entitled to claim for any additional costs that they may incur due to the suspension. Now, let's move on to determination. Determination refers to the termination of a construction contract. This can happen when the work on the project is permanently stopped. There are two types of determination: termination by agreement and termination by breach. Termination by agreement occurs when both parties agree to terminate the contract. This may happen if there is a change in circumstances or if the parties cannot agree on a solution to a problem. Termination by breach occurs when one party breaches the terms of the contract, and the other party decides to terminate the contract. This can happen if the contractor fails to perform their obligations under the contract or if the employer fails to fulfill their obligations under the contract. Under the common law, if a party terminates the contract due to the other party's breach, they may be entitled to claim damages for any losses that they have suffered as a result of the breach. In Malaysia, the Construction Industry Payment and Adjudication Act 2012, CIPA, also has provisions regarding suspension and determination. The Act allows parties to suspend or terminate a construction contract if they are in dispute and have referred the dispute for adjudication under the Act. Suspension and determination are important aspects of construction contracts that can have significant consequences for the parties involved. It is essential that the contract includes clear provisions regarding suspension and determination and that the parties follow the correct procedures when implementing these provisions. Thank you for watching this video on suspension and determination in construction contracts. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we will do our best to respond as soon as possible. In our next Chapter 9, we will be covering the topic of completion and finalization of the contract. So, stay tuned and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more updates.